Hey, welcome back. It's Creativity Plus, the podcast where we talk about creativity plus other things. I am your host, Mary Charisma, and today's episode we are going to be talking about creativity plus habits with my dear friend Dan Hurley. Dan comes from a background of energy healing and naturopath work, but I really know him as a musician. In fact, he is in my band, and well, we actually play music together in a lot of different bands. We also do fiddle tunes together. We both play frequently in our church. So yeah, I've had the pleasure of hanging with Dan in a creative way in a lot of situations. So I know he has a lot to say about creativity. And I also think of him as someone who's very disciplined. So I was really curious what his take would be on creativity plus habits. And this conversation, we really reveal how much flow and heart and allowing goes into building habits that actually improve our life and that we want to keep in our life as we grow, and changing those habits as we change. There's just so much heart in this conversation, like something really special about this one. Listening to it back, I don't know, there's just something here, and I'm really excited to share that with you. It's also a bit emotional for me listening now because my cat, Theo, who just a sweet baby angel kitten forever, she makes an appearance in this one, and just some really well-timed meows. Her little spirit, but she passed last July, so it was kind of a trip to hear her. Kind of busted my heart wide open, but I'm glad that her little perfect kitty spirit is forever immortalized in this podcast. So anyways, I know you're going to feel this one. You're going to feel it in the soul, in the feels. It's special. So I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. Episode 5, Creativity Plus Habits with Dan Hurley. Creativity Plus.
Thank you for being here, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited about today's discussion.
Me too.
Every time we talk, there's always so many truth bombs. So I know today will be no exception. There's going to be some good wisdom. I feel it already.
Not just a mic drop, but
yeah, mic explosion. Is that? So today's topic, creativity plus habits. So let's start with the creativity part. Let's just dive in, if you wouldn't mind telling me about how creativity has been a part of your life thus far.
Oh, my life.
Mm-hmm. You can go back as far as you like.
Yeah, well, I would say it's been a blessing that I've kind of been musically inclined. Mm-hmm. I played a little piano when I was younger, but didn't really keep up with it too long. Mm-hmm. But just when it comes to rhythm, harmony, I can kind of sense and know what flows or what works. And I also, in addition, when I was younger, came up through Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts and things. And a lot of that is, when you're out in the wilderness, what do you have? What do you got? That's what you have. Figure it out. Mm-hmm. And so when I look back these days, there's a lot of creativity, thinking on the fly, improvising, things like that to make something work, or noticing that something is doing exactly what it's doing, but it's not perfect for this situation. And so I feel like a lot of creativity for me has come from just resourcefulness.
Yes.
Just naturally engendered in that process.
Yeah.
And then that natural flow of music and harmony and things. So having both kind of that intuitiveness with a very much a practical approach, now that I'm saying it, is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. I love that you bring that up, that like the way that creativity has been a part of your life in this sense of how are you living it. I think that's so beautiful because it's like, how has creativity been a part of your life? I think it's very easy to answer like, let's see, what kind of art projects have I done? Like really pigeonhole it.
What have I created?
But it's really talking to some, yeah, exactly, like the things, but it's like much bigger than that and speaking to those moments where we have to think outside of the box. I think that's a really beautiful example.
And if it weren't for that question, I didn't know that. Like just saying, it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now I've learned something about myself.
That's beautiful. Also, I think your answer about the flow and then the practicality, that leads very much into, I think, the topic of habits and creativity. Because to me, habit sounds very much the practical, the structure.
Yeah.
But we all know that creativity has flow in it.
Yeah.
There's got to be that.
The dance.
The dance. And so how do you think those fit together? How do you have habits? How do you make habits or break habits and walk that balance?
Great question.
It's a big one.
Much like what you just asked, like where do I come from? And there's a lot we can approach with that. But the first one, I feel like has to do with attunement in a way. So, namely, at this point of my life, why this topic, I didn't realize how passionate I was about it until you asked me.
Yeah.
Which is basically after I turned 30, it seems like things seem to be working.
Okay.
Like certain habits have stuck or they're continuing and I don't feel burdened or burnt out or whatever the cause to stop the habit. And I can recall the 20s, the teens, everything before that, everything I've tried seems to have kind of fallen off. The pieces were kind of there, but they needed to be put together in a certain way, which a little bit of that creativity comes in to figure out how the pieces fit. And so these days, like how I create a habit has to do with a lot of, in addition, like self-study. So like observing myself, how I work, know thyself, what works for me in this particular way, in that particular way, effectively, efficiently, and even thinking in the long term. Because a lot of those habits with that 30 plus year conversations, like, okay, now I'm thinking beyond like an immediate result, which when we're in the world for only 15, 20 years, we only have immediate results. And then turning 30, and I feel like I'm in a secure place in my life where I'm actually thinking further down the road for the first time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And I can see myself doing something for 30, 40, 50 years, which I hadn't really been able to think in those terms before.
Yeah.
And it's really comforting. So these days in creating the habit, it's that self-study, self-reflection, putting pieces together that actually work this time. A lot of self-compassion and patience, because habit formation is also a step-by-step process. It's not going to be created perfectly, boom, right here, and I'm going to do this for 50 years. There's a lot of like micro adjustments that happen along the way too, because I might change day to day, my circumstance might change day to day. And so the flow is in with that too, where it's not a static habit. Like the habit might change a little bit, but there is this form that I can follow steadily, patiently, compassionately, and with a little fun too.
Yeah.
Not just a like strictly discipline.
Okay, how do you add the fun into habits? I think that's because it's easy to have habits feel like work, feel like this, like you gotta check this off the checklist every day. It's kind of like you know.
Yeah. How do I have fun with it?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I think in the longevity conversation, in this like attunement with self-improvement in the steady way, I think the fun now that I think about it, the fun is in the process. Like figuring it out, I have a lot of fun with. And seeing or looking back to like all the little steps that led up to this moment when a habit's been formed or a goal has been achieved. And the fun is in the process. It may not actually be the thing that I'm doing. Like, I may not have fun exercising.
Yeah.
Or sometimes eating right isn't the funnest thing.
Yeah.
Or even reading.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see somebody intently reading. They're maybe, but for me, it's a little bit of there's a discipline.
Yeah.
So the fun and creativity is in the formation and the journey rather than the things themselves.
That's interesting.
So, but then if it's a journey and gradual and micro adjustments, it's a constant journey. So the fun's always there.
There's always fun.
It doesn't go away like as soon as I figured it out, because I'm always figuring out.
Yes.
And so it regenerates itself.
Yeah, there's so much there. That's incredibly inspiring. Something I definitely want more of in my life, because I think I often, particularly when we're talking about creative things, when we're talking about songwriting or we're talking about production or making things, it's like I feel so much like looking to where I want to be, that the right now is like not enough.
Yeah.
And well, I love what you're saying, because it really is those like, oh, but then I added this and then I tweaked that and I kept growing, like just really enjoying how it's growing and growing and growing. And that like really, it doesn't so much matter where you end up, but the fun is always in the now.
Yeah.
You can't have fun in the future. Like you can think about it and it could be great, but that magic, that joy, the living of your life is like only happening through that journey of taking those like micro steps.
And even just thinking in terms of Boy Scouts, like there was a lot of hiking for me. Okay. The fun wasn't, oh, we got here. Oh,
right.
The fun was at that point at the end. It's like, no, it's all the way. The hike, hike by definition is the journey.
Right.
The procedure, the way there, not there.
Yes.
Per se.
Do you listen to Abraham Hicks?
I'm familiar.
Yeah, like they had this one quote. It was something like imagining going on a river cruise and you get on the boat and then they're like, okay, get off. And they're like, what about the cruise? And they're like, well, we just thought we'd save time. We're just going around in a circle. So, it's like really, it's like, wait, but I want to enjoy the cruise.
Something that just came to me about the fun part too is a sense of co-creation. Like I'm not just born of me doing things and things are happening. Like I feel like there's also a relationship with other people, or even with the Abraham Hicks conversation, this beautiful universe that we're in.
Yeah.
And if there's a certain desire or goal, the universe will conspire for us to help get us there. And sometimes it's not what we expect. Sometimes it's a fun surprise or something out of left field. And so for me, I love like improvisation, quirks, things. So if something comes my way, I'm going, what does that have to do with this thing that I want? And if I give it enough time, like a cosmic GPS, like it's this way, this way, this way, this way, I end up there and go, yep, couldn't have predicted that. So there's fun in being so present and interacting with what shows up. And then that attunement of changing my relationship with my surroundings, the universe, the people in my life. There's so many opportunities to grow, to shift, to change, to adjust, and let go, that it's constant. And there's a lot of just spiritual study and services that I've attended and listened to. There's so much to, like, God, the universe, the creative spirit is always talking to us. We just need to learn how to listen. And so the fun in the journey, the fun with the play of it, like interacting with this grand, intelligent design of a being, giving things to us and developing that trust. So, there's a lot.
Yes,
it's really good.
That was beautiful. That's definitely a mic drop. About the fun and the ability to like play with the universe.
Yeah.
I think part of it is when you're making this habit to not be so rigid in
Yes. Yeah.
Because if it really is this, I'm going to do it exactly this way, it has to look like this, it like leaves no room for the universe to communicate with you. If you're just like, you know, horse blinders on, just like, this is how the process is going to look.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one thing to have your like focus on some goal, but then like you said, it's this little GPS, like these moments. So it's definitely been helpful for me to have this sense of like, I just need to show up. And then what's going to happen in that space that's up to the universe. Like for production, like working on my tracks felt very much like that. And sometimes I do have a little bit more of like a concrete goal that I want to accomplish in that session.
Yeah.
But just saying I'm going to be there in my studio and I'm going to be there and I'm going to work.
Yeah.
You know,
Showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's like whatever happens, I have less judgment around it. Because it's like, that's what happened. That was what was supposed to happen. Yeah, just leaving room for things.
And a lot of creativity and genius is spontaneous.
Yes.
That can't be planned or rigid, or it comes before the recording session. Like how many music documentaries have I listened to where the greatest guitar riff of all time, they're like, yeah, you know, I was just or like, well, actually, my guitar was broken, so that tone that people are trying to make, it's just a broken guitar, man.
Yes, totally. I mean, distortion. The whole thing about distortion is just like, it's broken and it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing this practice, I guess, on the topic of habits, something that I've been doing for a bit. Today's day 20, like channeling, essentially.
Oh.
So asking a question and then free writing, like write just whatever comes out.
Oh, yeah.
It's so powerful. And I've been reading them on TikTok and sharing them.
Oh.
And that's been like another fun part of it.
Huh. Yeah.
Because that was another thing I was like very resistant to, was just being on TikTok, just showing up. And then a lot of that was, I can't show up until I have enough like musical skill and talent to like show. I need to have something cool to show. And this was a way for me to be like, no, you can just be you. You can just be there and be present. And that's enough. And whatever happens.
Yeah.
So I just brought that up because today's channeling was such a powerful one. And it was on the topic of core childhood wounds, which for me was the feeling like I have to be perfect and that I'm not enough. So I have to do to like prove myself. And man, I really felt a lot of healing happened. It was amazing. And in that the superpower that you get from the core wounds. So it's like you have this core wound. It doesn't mean that you're limited. It means that now you have the ability to transcend that and to help others transcend that. So it kind of gives you this actual superpower where it's like the wound is, I don't feel perfect. And then the superpower is, I'm perfect even when I'm messy. I'm always perfect. I'm divine light. I don't know. So I wanted to share this idea of like being imperfect and allowing that and still feeling like it's perfect, if that makes sense. It's messy, but it's perfect.
There's so much to healing and mental training that's so like vital in this day and age in particular. Like we're in this age of information.
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere. And now of like TikTok and YouTube shorts and things can be very useful, but like we'll receive this image of somebody who might have been working at this for 30 years and we see a 10-second clip of genius and we're going, well, I want to be that. And then the comparison hits and we're like, well, I'll never be that. And then we don't show up, we put it away. It's discouraging. Like someone else's success could be discouraging by that comparison process, by the wounding of perfection and things.
Yeah. Okay. Let's dive deeper because that is such a huge thing. We think we all experience it. We know what we want to do, and we see people doing what we want to do. And if you feel like you don't know what you want to do, that's like one of the biggest clues. Who do you feel jealous of? Who do you see and makes you feel like kind of like, oh, I wish, I just can't, but I wish, like that. Because if you remove that, if the judgment doesn't come,
Right.
then it's like, I want to be that. It's like here, it's a role model. It's a guidepost. It's a little clue from the universe of like, this is lighting me up. And I think something important is that don't wait for that you to not feel like, how do I put it? We have those wounds. We have those insecurities. When you see what you want to do and the limits that you are holding come up, it's now time to witness that. And that's not a problem that you have them. It's so normal that you have them. But now you can see it. You can recognize that it is a limit. And it's like, oh, that's me just limiting. Breathe around it, and then you can see the space of just, the light that wants to come through, but it's feeling blocked by our limits. Like, and that makes us feel so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I think you were saying, it's like a lot of times we're so discouraged, we don't show up to those habits that would move us in that direction. But it's like every time I show up, I feel that limitation being hit, and it just sucks so much. So I'd rather just like not do it.
Well, it's something I reflect on this morning. Like, we are wired for things that feel good, and the easiest things to do, the path of least resistance. Right. So if we feel discomfort, biologically, evolutionary speaking, we avoid it.
Right.
So with the topic of healing and going beyond our limits or witnessing them and wanting to improve, it's reframing our relationship with discomfort and just observing it like, yeah, this is uncomfortable.
Yes.
And then that changes our definition of it, our relationship to it. Oftentimes, if you look at a lot of the people that are achieving, they'll speak of, if there's something's uncomfortable, I want to do it more because I've gotten used to that feeling, and I know that it's trying to block me from my greater self.
It becomes a signal.
Yeah.
It becomes a signal of what you need to do. It's like, oh, I'm getting that fear. I'm getting that good kind of like,
excellent, let's do it. Instead of like, and then out you go.
Yes. And I think that's so beautiful to mention, because it's like we forget that. And we see people who are just thriving and just living how they want to live. And we think that they never feel fear, or they've never felt insecure, or they've just been born perfect. And it's so not true. It's just like they don't let the limit stop them. They say, oh, there you are, limit. And then, but I actually really do want to do this, so I'm just going to do it anyways.
I love you.
I love you.
I respect you. I'm going to do this anyway.
Yes. I mean, it sounds so silly, but...
Well, think about it. It's a protective mechanism. Yes. The world is, depending on how you look at it, could be an unsafe place, could be the safest place, depending on that attunement or that mental, emotional relationship and perspective of it. Yeah. So we can honor that uncomfortable feeling, because like, you're trying to protect me. Thank you. And now come with me as you grow with me. Or just some kind of reframe that's positive, instead of, you're making me uncomfortable again. I hate this. I don't like it. It just creates more of that negativity, really more of a block, more resistance probably. Because what if it's supposed to emulate just a positive shining light, and you're hating on this part of it, or I'm hating on a part of myself that is afraid of showing up. Yeah. It's going to be picked up by everybody. If it's a creative pursuit, it's not pure. It's going to be flavored or changed by that frequency and vibration. Yeah. So
no, it's so I fall into that trap so often of like, I'm becoming more aware, like watching my thoughts, and then I am doing something new and scary, the limits come up. And then it's like, I realize I'm limiting myself, but instead of doing what you suggest, which I think is beautiful, and respecting and loving and being appreciative of it, it's like denying it and resisting the resistance, which is just like you said, it just snowballs from there.
Yeah.
I think that makes me think of bad habits. If you want to,
Sure.
Good and bad, whatever. Everything's neutral. It's fine. But let's just say something that you want to let go of, that is a habit that you just sort of do. I think there's probably similar things there in terms of the resisting it,
Yeah.
causing more the negative around. It's like, oh, I have this habit and I'm so bad for doing this. Here, I want to
Right.
do this again. I
Yeah.
don't know. Have you had any experience with breaking habits?
Constantly. Like, even I can safely say, like, I'm proud of the habits that I've established in my life. Doesn't mean I break them once in a while. Because there is that, it's a gradual process. And much like purifying one's consciousness, this bubble of, something from my childhood was packed away over here. And in a moment of stillness, and then enters my mind. And then it's really intense. And sometimes, it doesn't work out, or I eat something I shouldn't have. And it's just compassion for that process too. And even wisdom in what that process is. Because a lot of times, if we deny a bad habit or deny how we feel about a habit, we're suppressing it. And like a spring, it might even come back even stronger.
Right.
With a vengeance.
Yes.
And so, be it stories go on of like cravings or addictions or things, like by saying no, judging it, really trying to not deal with it.
Yeah.
The habit can double down later. So
Yeah.
in thinking in terms of like longevity and accepting the gradualness of a process, it's a gentler approach. It's good to ourselves. And it takes that negativity and judgment out. And another kind of big picture wisdom thing is like our lives, this world is a school. So we come in with strengths and weaknesses and flaws and wounds to work out. Like if we accept that we are imperfect on the journey of for these ideals, it's like accepting the journey for what it is. We are imperfect, becoming perfect. It's a process of becoming, not necessarily getting there.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because these days for me personally, it's mostly been introducing good habits than combating a bad habit.
Yeah.
Or suppressing a bad habit or releasing a bad habit.
Yeah.
It's like introducing a new one kind of crowds out the bad.
I think that's something really interesting. Yeah, for me personally, like a habit that I've been very gradually working on. It doesn't even feel like I'm working on it, but it's just like has been sort of naturally changing, is like drinking. Because I now currently drink a lot less than I did. And I'm still not ready to be like, I will never drink again.
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying, it makes so much sense. This like different, if you drink quite often and you're going to say, I'm never going to drink again. Yeah.
That's a big
it's a huge jump. It's a huge jump. And I'm not saying that people haven't ever just been like, that's it, I'm done.
For sure.
That happens.
Yeah. And good for them.
Good for them.
We celebrate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that isn't you, that's not a problem. And yeah, say, I'm going to go a day without drinking if you drink every day, which might be really challenging.
Yep.
And it's like, dang, I really want to. And if you do, then that's, like you said, it's not time to judge. It's time to love more on yourself.
And as you said, be a witness.
Be a witness.
Observe it. What are all these feelings coming up?
What are all these feelings? And I was watching a video someone posted where they had made a video about them losing a bunch of weight like several years ago. And I guess they like gained all that weight back and then lost it again. So they were kind of like, here's some new things that I've learned in this, like, watching myself being like, I figured it out. And they're like, wait, I had so much to learn.
Yeah.
But one thing they mentioned was kind of these two things going on with the habits or the relationship with food. It was like, what helped them in the journey was working on the relationship with the food and like, why are you eating snacks? Why are you doing this? Why are you, what's going on this deeper level? But then also while that process is happening, creating little micro tweaks that were like barely noticeable and help them like be healthier. And I love the way they expressed like, okay, I would replace chips with like these protein chips. And it's like, ultimately, now where I'm at, I don't even eat those anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I replaced just a traditional Snickers with like they make now like healthier versions of Snickers, right? And it's just like, now I eat an apple. But to like have these little baby steps that help you get there, while you're doing this work of understanding the bigger picture. And I think it speaks to what you're saying of just understanding like why you're doing it, And
there's levels of understanding that come at different times. We won't have all the answers when we're ready to quit.
Yeah.
We won't have all the answers when we're halfway through.
Yeah.
We might have answers when we're completely finished with the habit, 30 years later meditating, going, oh, that's why.
Right.
But it won't matter because living our lives and always moving forward.
Yes. And like you said, creating good habits. Sometimes you don't need to work so hard on the bad habits. I guess that's why I thought of this, like the not drinking so much, because I feel personally like that habit has kind of simmered down as I've spent more time just doing things I like.
Huh.
Because I think I was just like, I was cutting myself off so much from like what is my heart's been calling me to do because of all of the stuff we talked about and the limits and the fear, that my heart's just like, well, there's nothing to do. Or my consciousness, my heart's like, please go, it's all right. But I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do with myself. So I'll have a drink, like kind of out of boredom.
Yeah.
I think people snack in the same way. Like the sort of like when you're not allowing yourself to live in the ways that your whole being like wants to, then it leaves this emptiness and it's not that comfy. And you might not be ready to ask those big questions of like, what's my heart telling me? And so then to sort of, I think that's where a lot of habits that we are kind of not the best for us, like they come in reaction to that.
Yeah. To sit in stillness or silence these days, even with another person, give it 15 seconds, saying nothing. There can be quite a tension or discomfort or spinning out of self-reflection, like, I gotta say something, or I need to drink something, or so much to fill the space.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. Like how much, besides just like engaging in habits, like quote unquote bad habits or whatever, it's just the constant doing to resist sitting with what the truth is.
Yeah.
Because it's scary, I guess.
It's really easy to avoid that, to keep busy.
Yeah.
And the busyness could be in concert with the bad habits. Like, for me, I had a real, it's a strong word, I guess I'll just say, like a chip addiction.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good for me. I had talk of self-investigation, logic.
Yeah.
If I ate a certain amount of these chips, I'd get face rashes.
Oh no!
It's an immediate thing. I don't get a rash.
There's no question
here. I go out in the world and people see it. There's a really bad consequence in this socialized world, and so I would just continue doing this and go through the spiral and everything we've been talking about, like the shame of it. The shame in doing it, and then the shame in not being able to stop, but still doing. So logically it doesn't make sense, but there is this comfort or instant gratification that comes that helps to fill the silence, or helps to make ourselves feel better in those moments. And when I say silence, because it's not just the flavor, not just the experience, but the crunch. It's loud. And I think that had a little bit to do with filling in the silence. Yeah. Feeling something. So it's not sometimes the result, but even the process of the habit is filling something in, or a silence. Or
a distraction of it.
A distraction, yeah. And
so did you start replacing chips with something else? How did you go about?
It's a work in progress.
Or are you still going through it? Yeah.
Well, there was a worse chip. Just as you were talking about. And it's moved to a better chip, but I still get reactions if I do too much.
Yeah.
I'm doing it a lot less, which is good. it's hard sometimes because I share my living space and we eat different things, and they love chips too. So they're there. So
yes.
when you look at like habit formation and releasing, the best thing to do is just not have the temptation there.
Right.
But if there's no avoiding it and it's there, what do you do? And facing that almost every day. Yeah. But I would say, it's filling in that silence or that idleness or that space of discomfort when we're really like in this now moment.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Right. Oh, that's right. It's like if we do actually sit with all of this stuff, I mean, even if it's your heart being like, I really, really want to do this, and then your, reaction, all the wounds being activated, all of that, we can handle that.
Yeah, we can.
We definitely can handle that. And on the other side of it is like bliss and joy and freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know, I really am liking this. Maybe it's like stop worrying so much about the bad habits, but focus on finding the freedom.
Finding the freedom, reframing that relationship with ourselves and that discomfort. Because when the discomfort comes, the first thing we want to do is make it go away.
Right.
And if we can just sit there and go, I'm uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe like journaling or channeling, like, I'm uncomfortable. Why?
Yes.
And then just letting that creativity flow. Like, what is trying to speak to me right now that I was trying to silence?
Yes.
And was my fear justified? Maybe it was, because a lot of trauma can come up. Or maybe the fear was just the unknown.
Yeah. I would say like the fear is justified in the sense of like, you're having that reaction. Like, that's not a problem that you're having that reaction. That's a very normal thing that's happening. It's like, it sucks. It's not particularly helpful. It's definitely getting in the way with what you want. But the fact that you're having it isn't a problem.
There's especially in this society where it's a lot of like instant gratification, and not just gratification, but like instant fill in the blank, like
food,
delivery, food, experiences,
dopamine hits.
Yeah, so
generally,
what was I gonna say? There's a few like even YouTube personalities that I've witnessed that we can sum it up by saying, it sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Where like there is no secret. The secret is it sucks, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. And the more we can be okay with the suck of it, weird way to say it, we can see that journey or that joy and start to cultivate those new habits and letting go of the bad ones, understanding ourselves and why we do things. And then we understand our core wounds and what drives us to do certain behaviors, then we can help others that are going through the same thing, because we're all in this big old school.
Right.
We're all human. It's universal. If I solve something in myself, I can certainly help somebody else with it. We're all getting the same stuff.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're all flavors of the different same thing. Yeah. It was bringing up, I have an example of this fear, and then I did channeling to see what was up about it. So in the morning's channeling practice, what came through was, today is a day to do something that you felt inspired to do, but you've been avoiding for a long time out of fear. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And for me, I just knew when that came through what that was. It was going across the street to this beautiful park where there's lots of people and performing and just singing and playing guitar and doing a little mini concert, just busking.
Cool.
Yeah. And, I was like, that's what I have to do today. Oh my gosh. And I sat down to like do something entirely different. I was like, okay, time to work on my song, and I could feel it. I could just I felt all the unworthiness come up. I'm like on YouTube looking at people who are killing it as musicians. I'm like, I'm just so far from that and all of these things. And so I decided to channel more. Like I needed more. I felt I was struggling. And so I was just like, higher consciousness, higher self. This is all coming up within me. What's going on? And the response was so like, yes, confirming that's what you got to do. You got to go do it. And we've got you.
Yeah.
You can't fail. You just cannot fail. It's your heart telling you to do it. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So just trust us and just do it. And we got you.
And trust your greatness.
Trust your greatness. Trust yourself. Yeah. That's interesting. I think that's a big thread going through this conversation of trusting oneself.
And in that moment, like, you listen to yourself. Like,
I did.
What's going on? Question mark.
Yeah. What was amazing was after that channeling and getting that response of like, it will be okay. I felt soothed. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And now I'm allowing myself to actually be excited about it. It was like a new feeling entered the picture, and the old one of the like fear really quieted down. I was still feeling those like butterflies, but it felt more like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, actually. And it was like, after I did it, I just felt the greatest like surge, like just so amazing. And someone gave me $1. They're like sat and listened so intently, and they were like, thank you. And it was like that moment, just I was like, felt so happy. And I just had this memory of when I was a kid and like with my family at Disneyland, and like they were like, we're gonna go on the Indiana Jones ride, and I was like, no, this like looks way too scary. And they're just like, look at everyone leaving, like they're having fun, like they're really enjoying it. And it's just like, no, it's struggling. But then like do it, and then afterwards it was like, that was amazing, let's do it again. Like I feel like it's like this energy of like, we have these things that scare us, and it's like the more we do them, the more that we see on the other side of them is such joy. It's such fun. It's the best.
Freedom.
Yeah, it's freedom. Freedom's the best. So the discomfort, it's like that's become smaller into comparison with the fun that you know that you'll have.
Yeah. And could I share my experience
Absolutely.
with that? Because you might say, no, I don't envy it, but like I celebrate that if there was that immediate like, victory, strength, and ready to do it again, go further and all that. I volunteer a lot with my church, and there's certain songs that we play in an instrument called a harmonium, just like a one-handed piano, kind of like a pump organ kind of thing. And having played piano when I was younger, like I had just a natural inclination, but I had to come back to it. But performance anxiety up the wazoo, like I couldn't. And literally, that the first time that I had to play, the anxiety, the fear, the sweaty palms, heart palpitating, racing, coming out of my chest, tunnel vision. Yeah. I almost blacked out.
Oh my God.
When it was my turn to play. And luckily, the facilitators everybody was talking still. And I was just sitting there going, what is this instrument? I've never seen this in my life. What do I do? How does this song go? And one of the facilitators, just to stall, was like, well, everybody quiet down so Dan can play. I'm like, I forget how to play. And just, and even for me, it's been of acquiring and remembering the wisdom of what's happening. Because a lot of these fears and traumas and all that block function. Mm-hmm. So for me, I've had to step up to this plate several times and just meet the worst and worst of this fear, which would get a little incrementally better. But even after playing that song, like my hands were shaking, I was sweating. People were like, good job. I was like, and I just, well, it wasn't necessarily joyful at that moment.
Right.
Nor did it feel like a victory. I felt awful.
Right.
But what's funny in connecting with my relationship with the universe, with my teacher or my guru, I just felt this, or my heart, this inner inclination of, you got to do this more, or you're going to be called to do it more. And I'm like, I hate it. No, thanks. Wow. And then someone would say, hey, Dan, can you play for this? I'm like, I don't want to, but something's telling me I need to do this. And I would do it. I felt horrible. Everybody would say that it went okay, but the experience was awful. And I just kept getting invited to play. But each time I knew I had to show up. And it was beyond reason, beyond logic that I can think of, because every experience was not good. But there was something of that little voice, that heart voice, the spirit saying, you gotta, you need to, you have to. So I would keep showing up despite everything I was feeling. And so these days I feel more comfortable and joyful with playing the harmonium in front of people. And even when I mess up, I go, oh, that was trauma blocking that neuron. And I'm okay with messing up now.
Yes.
Whereas before it was, what? I still have a little bit of that, but...
Yeah.
And it's just, what a journey. Like, that whole... It was a year of being invited to play, showing up when I didn't want to, experiencing awfulness, and showing up again anyway. And then even being invited to play with you on guitar, which I had not practiced at all. And I'm like, I am by no means a great lead guitarist, but we're going to do it because I recognize this feeling.
Yes.
And we go up on stage, we do the thing. I flubbed up a few notes, but I was happy.
Yes.
And the freedom was that, what I think was the pinnacle moment for me, going from blacking out to being on stage going, I'm safe. This is okay.
Oh.
And I'm good. And it was such a, such a stark before and after, to be so comfortable knowing realistically I'm not really that good. I can say that I'm not a great guitar player because there is levels of skill.
Yeah.
You can look at it logically, but I don't go into shame or guilt or things like that. That's just a logical assessment. And then to release that perfectionism or whatever it was, that if I made a mistake, I'm like, okay, what's the right note? Just keep going. Wow. So that's just to, if it resonates with somebody who has gone through an experience that has a delightful, successful, that there are times where it sucks, depending on all those factors, upbringing, trauma, who knows, and that's, I have fun now talking about it, not having gone through it, but when I talk about it, it's a victory.
Right.
So there's fun in talking about the hard journeys too.
So much. That's an inspiring story. I mean, to show up to something that was so uncomfortable.
Vehemently.
And keep doing it because you hear that voice. That's awesome.
A really quiet voice too. It wasn't like this blaring, you gotta do this. It's like, go on.
The whisper of your heart.
Go on.
Come on. You got it. You got it.
And that's just trusting the process.
Yeah.
Trusting that it would lead to a greater becoming.
Right. And it's like something that was such a difficult journey, but then the freedom that you earned essentially.
Yeah.
Is so beautiful. You probably would say it's worth it, right?
Absolutely. Because if you think about with creativity, we're creating in every moment. This conversation is creative. And if I was really afraid of saying the perfect thing or saying the wrong word or the wrong note,
yes,
I'd be so locked in. So the skills or whatever we overcome can be applied in all aspects of life.
Right.
So.
And they become these tools for us to then share.
Right.
We face our own hardships, I think, so that we then can teach others how to overcome hardships. It's this light that wants to keep expanding.
And not to say I didn't feel reservation for this podcast. I was like,
But you knew it was going to be so good on the other side.
There was going to be something, yeah. And I even prepared and wrote down a bunch of things. And I'm like, yeah, it's there. Let's see what shows up.
Let's see what shows up. I've been thinking a lot lately about the dance of the masculine and feminine energies. And that's my cat.
Yeah.
Excuse her. She's asking for food. And I thought of that when you were saying the quiet voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the quiet voice of the feminine. Mm-hmm. The whisper, the softness, the the intuition, if you will. But then we have this other part of ourselves that's the masculine, which is the doer.
Yeah.
And the part of ourselves that makes it then happen.
Yeah.
Like we have our feminine intuition, our feminine wisdom, like what is the universe telling us? And then we have to then actually take action.
Yeah.
And do, despite hardship and face struggles. And those two kind of flowing in between each other. And, you know, and maybe it's like the strength comes in protecting that call. Like you hear the whisper and it's like the masculine energy being determined to follow it despite all that it's faced with.
Yeah. It's a battle.
Yeah.
Which could very much be masculine.
It feels
trait.
like, yeah, right? You're like the ego that you're then like having to.
Or even, yep, I forgot. My fear, I forgot how to play this thing.
Yeah. The allowing.
Help.
Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So when we get into the masculine, we're like, I'm going to do. We then also have to stop doing for a second and listen and just observe and just be to receive that part of ourselves that knows more than we do. Mm-hmm. That's outside of ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Theo, excuse my little kitten.
It's a confirmation
that it's lunchtime.
It's a great topic. Because flow is not just outward, constant. There needs to be a replenishment or a receiving of in order to do something. And so to find that process for each individual, like how does one recharge, or how does one even receive creative inspiration? Mm-hmm. Is it in a quiet place? Is it in a noisy music club? That'll be different for each person, because one would assume that you got to be quiet, still, and then something comes. Mm-hmm. Or maybe somebody gets their inspiration in traffic, right, where it's just nutso out there. So knowing thyself, how one receives, and then how one does, and how one creates. And when that inspiration does come, what do I then do? Mm-hmm. Do I have a pen or a pad on hand that I can do it? Or do I leave it to the universe and go, surely there's a bar napkin somewhere? Or restaurant napkin.
I have an experience that speaks to this. So just yesterday so I've been knowing my heart's calling me to get back into songwriting, like a lot more songwriting. And I've just haven't really been. And so yesterday was like, that's the thing. It's like I went to the park and performed even though I was scared and resistant. Today I'm going to songwrite even though I'm scared and resistant. And I sat down and I did it, and it was like 2 to 3 hours, and I was like crafted something that I was like, oh, this is so like whatever. Mm-hmm. And then later that evening I was working out, and just like after the workout I like to just like free move and like listen to music. And then like lyrics came, and I'm like, these are dope lyrics. This is what I want to say. This is in tune. And I wrote them down. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It just, that both are great.
Yeah.
That I like, was like, I'm sitting down, I'm working, and I'm focusing. Yeah. And also, you can't turn it off. Like, I don't know. There's something about, I felt like this identity. I was like, ooh, I'm going to claim this identity as a songwriter. And I just am always a songwriter. I just felt really cool, like claiming that for myself. And that, just like fostering that and knowing that it's like something I want to like help bring into this world. And so that when that calling is happening, noticing that inspiration. And then I think it's not that's happened to me a lot, but often I'm like, oh, that would be cool when I then later sit down and songwrite, but then I've forgotten it. And so to like have a little more respect for those ideas and like treat them as like very special gifts and not just be like, that will be there later. And I do feel like it's like, there's infinite magic in every moment. So any moment that you say, I want to write a song, and you like be still and like, it's there, you know, I don't want to say that. But I do feel like when impulses happen, responding to them and like treating them like they're a big deal. I think there's a lot there.
And it reminds me a lot of intuition. Mm-hmm. And something I've learned a lot is, or rather an analogy that's taught, that I've received is like intuition is like a dove, and it'll swoop down and it'll enter our consciousness and then it'll leave. If we don't write it down, whoop,
Yeah.
because it's beyond mind.
Yeah.
It's beyond our thinking process. It's coming from on high. It's coming from our higher selves or some other higher being going, boop, here you go.
Yeah.
So for me, I have learned, contrary to advice I'd actually learned early in life, that I actually had to come back to this, where if something came in, I write it down. And if I don't, it's gone. And not to say that, everything that I write down from the intuitive sense, I act upon immediately.
Right.
But I can feel it. I can feel that it just, whoop, and it's just gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to really honor and respect what comes in, that much like the Hicks conversation, if we trust and honor what we're receiving, we'll receive more. So if we do honor that inner voice, the intuition, who knows how many, angelic beings are with us going, just, you gotta listen.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that. That the more you show up as who you want to be, the more the universe is like, great, we'll start giving you the help to be that.
And more.
And more.
And more.
Yeah.
And more. Like it
just
continues.
keeps, I think there's something with artists. It's just like, who are artists? It's like artists are the people that are like, yeah, I'm willing to go through that period of like struggle and pushing past those limits because I want to be open to receiving those messages and like expressing those in the world. Or even like, it's not always a want. It's just like, I know that is what I must do.
And it might even be a test of faith. Mm-hmm. And like in demonstrating, working through this fear, that intuitive power shows up more for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like a trust process both ways, where like, yes, I will, almost like a commitment to our higher self. Like I will show up even when I'm not feeling good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So demonstrating our commitment and how much we value it. We value this more than our discomfort.
Yeah.
And then we honor what we receive. So I feel like in both senses we'll be, bolstered with, psychological help and armor when we continue to face our fear and move forward, not by our own bruteness, but actually assistance.
Yeah.
And then even intuitively, like, oh, I received something. I'm going to respect this, and I'm going to honor the next thing I receive. So in both ways, like we develop that strength, receive strength, and then receive guidance, and then what we can receive, our cup grows too. Mm-hmm. So we can receive more. And then perhaps discernment comes in and goes, of everything I received, that was really good. And we can discard the rest.
Yeah.
So, process.
Oh, it's all about process. Yeah, I think if you also accept that what you receive could be a step. Not, you don't always receive things completely. Uh-huh. And just because it's like a start,
Just what came to mind was I like to reduce, reuse, recycle. Like and part of that is not buying brand new furniture.
Okay.
So a lot of times there's some really nice pieces of furniture on the sidewalk. There was a really nice dresser that was missing a drawer.
Okay.
And I'm like, why is it out here if there's no drawer? You think someone's going to pick this up? This person. Yeah. So I'm bringing it home going, kind of regretting this. Like, what do I do with a dresser missing a drawer? But there was more space because there was no drawer there. I was able to put things I could not otherwise store in my room. So this rather incomplete thing actually really assisted me in the long run and helped me to complete the organization as a whole. So
amazing.
As you said, like a step or something that's given may feel like it's not all there, but maybe it is and we don't see it, or it is leading to the all there later.
Yeah. with songwriting, I think that shift, it's like I'm going to sit down for my songwriting session and it's like, ooh, this melody wants to come out. Or these chord progression, and then like later you can come back to it and then add, and it's like ends up being this really fun song and whatever. But yeah, letting go of the expectation of this like complete song needing to just like pour out of me, which I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but if that being the expectation, and if that doesn't happen, that it was a failed, session, like no. allow. It's like, that's my mantra right now. Allow. It's all okay.
It's all okay.
Yeah. It's all, I mean, that's like the first thing that I think you were saying, where it's always changing. We're always developing.
Yeah.
These things that are working now are these steps to things that are going to work later. The things that aren't working now are steps to the things that are going to work later.
I mean, just as something working out, if something doesn't work out, it could very well be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. There's wisdom in everything.
Yeah.
Even the weird stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right.
Okay, I wanted to ask in this conversation, around the topic of habits, I was thinking about challenges, because you can approach a habit of this sort of like, I want to drink less. Or it's like, for 100 days, I'm not going to drink, or whatever, I'm just curious if you've experimented with any sort of challenge like that, like daily challenge.
I don't do well with those. It could very well be a know thyself, that's not the best thing for me, or it's something I gotta work on. But I'm not at the place in my life where I need to do that. Well, actually, daily, because daily challenges in of themselves almost form like a pressure to do it. And that could block the creative flow, or it can encourage it by getting past the blocks. It just depends on the person. But I was just thinking of a challenge and a goal, which was having a regular meditation practice. I'd been part of like various communities and learned different meditations and on, off. Same thing with exercise regimen, on, off. And there was a particular gateway or goal I had to get to in order to progress or learn a deeper teaching of this meditation technique. And it required 6 months, daily, twice a day. And I went, I know how these go. I was like, Or rather, no, I had that thought previously, and that's what stopped me. But then later in life, I then saw this goal again and went, I really want that. And I didn't read the requirements beforehand, but I did a lot of the study that was required. And I'm like, I studied everything, quiz me, I'm ready. And then I clicked like the application and said, yes, and you need to meditate for 6 months. And I went, in 6 months, I'm going to be ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that, I think, depends on the frequency and vibration. I really wanted it. And even sitting down that very first day, I just sat and I was just, are we really doing this? And I started to laugh.
Yeah.
I have never felt positive or encouraged by a challenge in my life. And yet, in that moment, I had a knowing that I would stick to it. I just knew from day one. Because it was aligned, I was ready, I wanted it. And it was joyful.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had to fight against a current. It was like, in that moment, I went, it's going to be okay. And I couldn't manufacture that. I think even with like all my habits, I couldn't create that moment again. There was something really special, aligned right there. And not to say that for 6 months, 180 days, 360 meditations, that I hit every single one of them every single time. But I did like 99%.
Amazing.
Yeah. And understanding why the days I didn't do it. And you hear these stories of people like, yeah, I learned this meditation when I was 17, haven't missed a day, and they're 63 or something. So we love them, we celebrate them, and I also celebrate myself for what I was able to achieve with my best, because my best is going to be different from other people. And so, funny, yeah, initially challenges, I don't like them at all, because there's a bit of that pigeonhole. Like, I gotta do this every day.
Yeah.
What's the definition of a habit? You gotta do this every day.
Right.
So it's just funny that you asked that. And I admit it once again, like, oh yeah, that's...
Yeah. Oh, that resonated a lot with that. I think that what you said is so key about the challenges is that do them when they feel inspiring, when the time is right, when you just know that you'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the same way with this channeling in the morning and make a TikTok about it. I've decided, I'm going to do this for 100 days and I'm on day 20, haven't missed a day yet. And it's just like, cause I know I'm going to do it. I just know it. It's like, it's fun and easy and there's nothing, it's from the very beginning, it was like, I'm going to allow this to be whatever it's going to be. And I will just show up and I will record and talk. So there's no pressure for me to look a certain way, me to say a certain thing. It's all good just from the get-go. And just knowing like it's going to happen. And the 100 days feels exciting because it's like, feels like long enough that it's like, wow, I feel like I'm going to be a different person in 100 days.
Yeah.
Like kind of that's exciting of like, it's a journey. I'm starting a journey and there's going to be an end to that journey, which will have this in the middle and sometimes in between. And I don't know, that's feeling really inspiring, the journey aspect of a challenge.
Yeah.
I totally agree that it's like, I've also felt throughout my whole life, no challenges. No. That's, or I've attempted them and then been like really hard on myself and just felt demoralized when I like screw up.
Right.
Yeah.
And what came to me also is that to get to that point of readiness, so much has had to happen. So it's not like it was all for naught.
Yeah.
Like there was a journey to the journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot had to happen, be it growth, maturity, learning, experiences, relationships, successes, failures, to then reach this moment where it's perfect.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Allowing the steps, don't expect perfection right away. Progress over perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just remembering, like, challenges are funny.
They are.
Only because, like, I've put myself through challenges without saying that's what they were. Like, even keeping up an exercise regimen, having, played baseball in high school, we were taught exercise routines and weight room stuff and things like that. And I always had that comparison. Where baseball practice was every day after school.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be lifting weights every day for the rest of my life after that. And so I've had to reframe, like, I know I'm used to that, but what's going to be good for me moving forward? And so before that reframe, I would exercise 3-4 times a week. And then either I'd hurt myself or I'd lose interest or I would forget one day and it's gone.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe because the challenge was undefined, where it wasn't like I'm going to work out for 100 days. It was just like, no, I need to do this. And then as easily as it came, it fell away. Whereas maybe now I have a challenge for exercising for me, which is, working out with weights at least twice a week. But the challenge date is the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. Like,
amazing.
It's rewarding. I don't push myself as hard as I used to because the priorities are clear to me. Like, I'm not going for bulk. I'm just going for feeling good and ability. Like, I want to be able to lift a heavy box or something occasionally. But
yeah, that's true. Like understanding why you're doing a habit, and that can be so key in those shifts in the why, in whether or not you keep the habit.
and then keep
Because if the motivation doesn't really like align with loving yourself and feeling good, it's hard to, you're probably not going to keep it around.
And then the life organization of habits, like which of these are top priority, which of these are lesser priority.
Yeah.
For me, meditation is higher priority.
Right.
Yes, I got to take care of my body temple for meditation, but meditation is for me daily, twice a day, and a good chunk of time. And exercise, I'm not going to some, bodybuilder convention, so I don't have to work out twice a day. It's like, okay, not twice a day, once a day. I don't think I have to do once a day. All right. When do I start feeling I need to work out again? It's about 2 to 3 days. Mm-hmm. Do the math, 7 days a week, twice a week. It's easy.
Yeah. That's finding out what schedule works for us.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just might not be daily for everything, and there are the things
to do everything day. Oh my God.
Yes.
I tried.
I've been there too. It's
how many morning routines have I tried?
Yeah.
Checklists.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh. Right. I mean, the habit building thing, it's so easy to get into this mode where it's, here's all the things I need to do today. I mean, it's like the list gets so big. It's like
meditations, the cold shower, the journaling.
You probably don't do as many beauty regimes as I do, but they stack, man. It's like skincare, lymphatic drainage, face massage, like all of these things to like upkeep, your body and stuff like that. It can just be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And man, I think when I'm doing that, or when I have done that in the past, it is from this, like, I need to be perfect. I'm seeking that, like, feeling of being perfect, Mary, and the highest version of myself, as if that is defined by hitting all these things that I do a day. And I just don't think that's the case anymore. I feel that it's much more about just feeling myself, feeling my highest self, just being that right now and living how I want to live and doing what I feel called to do. And of course, habits support that.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that I like working out every day. It just feels good to move my body. And that's just a little gift I give to my body. And I really prioritize that. But it's also has that, I think it's structure mixed with flow is really the answer, because you can, like you're saying, it's like 2 days a week, I don't know if you do the same days every week, but you're like, I
tried and I've already broken that.
Yeah, there's like, you're giving yourself allowance, and it's not just so like rigid that the minute something slips, the whole thing shatters. It's like the structure has flow to it. So for me, working out every day is like, well, the workout is like, maybe I'll go for a walk, maybe I stretch.
Yeah.
I just do whatever my body wants. And a lot of times that is just like, using a foam roller and then like dancing, it's like, doesn't have to like look like anything.
Yeah.
It's just knowing like, I'm here to celebrate my body.
Well, a couple of things you said, like it's a gift I'm giving to myself. How positive is that? And how generous you are to you. How great is that? And then it doesn't have to be a certain thing, but it's something. You are showing up.
Yes.
And in showing up for the creative impulse to come in, like Wednesday is foam roller day. And then you're ready to move, and it's like, oh, well, maybe a walk, actually. And you go for a walk. And then you meet somebody, and then they give you a discourse on life, and then they give you a bookcase that's missing a shelf. And you're like, what do I do with this? And they're saying, trust me. And you're like, okay, sure. And then, but in addition to like having that, I love what you said about allowance, because then it leaves room for the universe to come in and introduce something or share
magic.
Something. Yeah, the magic. Yeah.
Magic. I heard this, that the magic can only happen when you don't know. Because if you know, it's from your mind.
Yeah.
You have to be in this space of like beyond what you know.
Yeah. And there's a lot to being so present that it is just unbridled joy and surprise. And surprises beget joy. And that innocence, to believe in magic, there's a sense of wonder.
Yeah.
So it's always fun.
Yeah.
If, let's say I was the grandest godly physicist, that I knew exactly why that person showed up in my life, and I can write out the steps. I mean, even just saying I can write out all the steps is so beyond my mind that it's still magical. That even if I wrote down the arithmetic, it's still amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Just show up and let the magic happen. Yeah. I watched a little bit of Santana's masterclass.
What's that? Oh,
you know the series Masterclass?
And the guitarist?
And he's like, I hate the word practice because it like gives people all these negative connotations and it makes them be like, ugh, practicing. But so he's like, instead I show up to it's like a prayer to the guitar. I'm just here with my guitar, saying a little prayer. And I love that. It's like you're showing up and you're like an offering. That's what he said. An offering to the guitar. And it's like, I love you, guitar. And the openness and the curiosity to the magic that will be in whatever you do, I think that can really help us with the sticking to the habits. Because treating it like it's this moment for discovery and surprises and joy to come out. We don't know what's going to happen in this workout. We don't know what's going to happen in this, painting session or on that walk, that there's always room for things to just surprise us. Becomes a joy.
Yeah. And I think what's cultivated also is a sense of selflessness. So we can know that we are the spirit or just drops of the universe all walking around and conversing with each other. And gradually, we expand our consciousness to accept that. And that we're just the universe playing with the universe. What was I going to say? Like that selflessness gets us out of our box or what we think we are or where we think our limitations start and end. So opening ourselves to possibility, to magic, to all of that, we expand our definition of ourselves. And if our definition of ourselves is unlimited, anything can happen.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like, I think that's why we're here, is to go through the hardships of being a human, to then remember that we are actually limitless beings.
Yeah.
And we can do whatever we want. And it's just a big, fun surprise.
Yeah, it's all a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have really enjoyed this conversation. It's been amazing. I have been ending each episode with the same 3 questions. And it's funny because the first question has been, what is a habit that you've recently started doing that you really enjoy?
Oh, so for everybody?
Yeah, so it's especially on theme today, but...
What is a habit that I've enjoyed?
Or any sort of life hack, something that you're like, dang, wait, my life's better because I've discovered this.
Might take a minute.
Sure.
I'm unsure, but what comes to mind is sometimes my weekends are very eclectic. Like there's a lot of, so many connected but not connected activities that require a lot of things. So like if I'm playing music, I have to bring like a set of tablas, which are Indian drums. Or if I'm, going to, see my partner, I may have gathered things through the week that I have a to-go bag, essentially. So I have like a to-go bookcase.
Oh, wow.
And so if I were to make a list of these, weekends that I have, it can be overwhelming. So instead I just start collecting. Like I start filling the bag, essentially, for whatever it is that I'm doing. And it somehow it fits on the bookcase. And I think for me that habit is I can be a very visual person where if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Or the intuitive hit comes in and I go, I should bring this on Saturday. But instead of like having a list, I just take the thing I'm going to bring and put it in the bag. Sometimes I completely forget that I put it in there. And then it's like, honey, I'm home. Why did I put, oh yeah. And then it serves a purpose. And so I guess the habit that I've cultivated recently is like listening to a future forecast or something.
Yeah.
And then addressing it, putting it in the bag, and then forgetting about it. And not trying to have to remember it, because there's so much to remember like during the week. And so a lot of times I'll just pack my car and I will, have the itinerary going here and there, and I'll have everything I need back there.
That's
and it
perfect.
Is hodgepodgey. Like, it is wild.
Bag of tricks.
Yeah, magic,
Bag of magic.
Just pack it and go.
It definitely is. It comes back to what we were saying before, that when you have the inspiration, like just doing something about it right immediately, because it just will come and go. And it's like, this is knowledge I need. I know I need to do something about this. And I love that, because like you said, freeing yourself up to not have to like
worry about it
worry
until
about it.
later. Yeah.
You're taken care of.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Second question. What is a book that you give to everybody, that you recommend to everyone you love, that has inspired you or changed you in some way?
Yeah, gosh.
Book or books?
Yeah. Well, like required reading is like The Alchemist.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Very much not just trusting the process, but like cultivating trust to then trust the process. And then in the bleakest, that's a spoiler. Well, anyway, it's an allegory. It's an allegory for, that's very universal for the journey and just trust and having that relationship with the universe, that then we begin to identify with the universe, that then anything is possible. We are greater than we can imagine, etc., and so forth. Power of Now is great too, by Eckhart Tolle.
Yes, I really enjoyed that one. The Pain Body.
Yeah.
Hi, Theo. Yes, those are both great. Thank you. Final question. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, God. Younger me. Hang in there, bud. Jeez. There's a lot that I could not understand back then, and would not for many years. But really choosing, because there was a while where I did not choose life. Like I did not want the deal, did not want to be here, and all that. And just choosing it gave me a chance to figure it out. And not just by me, I had a lot of help. So just being open to the people that have come into my life, the books that come into my life, the experiences that have come into my life, and yeah, boy, hang in there. Like,
yeah.
And just trusting that it is a process and it is gradual.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan. This has just been, it's been magical.
Yeah.
It's really the word for it.
It's been good.
It's been good. Please come back again.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And if people wanted to find you on social media or online, is that a thing?
Not now.
Not now? All right. All good. All good. If by the time we air this and you do have stuff you want to share, I will link it in the show notes.
That could very well be like a next step for me, is having a very purposeful channel or handle or something. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll be here for it.
Yeah. Might be the next step.
Thanks.